Welcome to the Wellness20 Nutrition Series, Your Diet, How It Can Cause, Prevent, and Cure Type 2 Diabetes. This presentation has been brought to you by Wellness20, dedicated to empowering lives for healthier living. In this class, you will learn what is type 2 diabetes and how do we get it? Is it genetic, and what are the risks? How do you reduce your risk? Can you reverse type 2 diabetes or prevent it from occurring? What role does diet play, and how can we use food to help reduce our risk of type 2 diabetes? There are over 422 million people with diabetes worldwide, and it is rising at a faster pace in low to middle income countries than in high income countries. Diabetes is a major cause of organ failure, heart attacks, blindness, and lower limb amputation. An estimated 1.6 million deaths were caused by diabetes, and 2.2 million deaths were related to high blood sugar. Diabetes is the seventh leading cause of death in the world. What is type 2 diabetes? In order to understand what type 2 diabetes is, we need to start with the basics. Your pancreas is an organ that produces insulin. Insulin is a hormone that is responsible for controlling glucose in your bloodstream. Glucose is the main component that cells need to survive. It gives you energy, and it comes from the food you eat. When you eat food, glucose is released from your food into your bloodstream. Your pancreas detects the glucose in the bloodstream and begins to produce and release insulin. Insulin then facilitates the moving of glucose into the cells. Normally, insulin is produced in the pancreas, detects and picks up glucose, and escorts it into cells. Someone with type 2 diabetes is unable to effectively transport glucose into cells, and it therefore builds up in the bloodstream. What prevents insulin from moving glucose into the cells? Insulin acts like a key to the lock on the outside of a cell. Somehow the lock gets blocked and insulin cannot unlock it. It is believed that fat inside and outside the cells block the ability for glucose to get in. When cells do not recognize insulin, this is called insulin resistance. When glucose cannot get into the cells, it begins to build up in the bloodstream. This results in high blood sugar levels, causing a myriad of symptoms. Your pancreas once again begins to release more insulin. This sets up a dangerous cycle. Your body's systems and organs become stressed and potentially damaged. Plus, your cells are not getting the food they need to function, leaving an unhealthy state in your body. What are the symptoms of type 2 diabetes? Blurred vision, increase in hunger, thirst, and urination, unexpected weight loss, slow healing of wounds, and high blood sugar are among the primary symptoms. Who is at risk for type 2 diabetes? The top risk factor for type 2 diabetes is carrying excess fat. 90 to 95% of those with type 2 diabetes are overweight. And it ends up that genetics plays a very small role but can be overcome. What are the health risks associated with type 2 diabetes? Heart disease, premature death, blindness, kidney failure, dementia, loss of limbs and bone fractures, and depression are among those. Can you reverse and prevent type 2 diabetes? Modern pharmaceutical treatments can steady the effects of type 2 diabetes, but they are not a cure for this deadly disease. There is an extensive body of science that supports the fact that diet can both prevent and reverse type 2 diabetes. In Dr. Bernard's book, Reversing Diabetes, he presents that carbohydrates do not cause diabetes, but rather saturated fats are the main culprits. He presents several studies pointing to vegetarian and vegan diets as showing a reduction in the incidence of type 2 diabetes. In Dr. Greger's book, How Not to Die, He references several studies indicating that type 2 diabetics lost weight and reduced their diabetic medications by 60% by eating a plant-based diet, and more than half of the study participants were able to stop medications altogether. The Adventist Health Study 2 explores the link between lifestyle, diet, and disease among 96,469 Seventh-day Adventist men and women recruited in churches in the U.S. and Canada, once again concluding that a vegan and a vegetarian diet reduces the incidence of type 2 diabetes. The food you eat affects your cell's ability to take in glucose, which is vital for cell function. The more saturated fat you eat, the harder it is for your cells to properly function. Eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables can actually prevent and reverse type 2 diabetes. The science is strong regarding the impact of our dietary lifestyle on the risk of type 2 diabetes. Not only that, it can be reversed, providing a positive, healthy outlook for those currently suffering from this disease. With smart lifestyle changes, including a diet focused on plant-based foods, we can alter the course of our lives, living a life free of disease. One sure pathway to reducing our risk of diabetes can be found at the end of our forks. We at Wellness20 thank you for your attention today and encourage you to continue your exploration of the impact of diet on your health and wellness through a variety of resources that you can find on our website, www.wellness-20.com.